We are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.
Thank you, Alfred.
It's official. Style Guys is trending for the holiday season. Located 1252 Burnham Ave in Calumet City. Being black owned and operated with new items weekly, in store, and even online. And with over 50,000 followers online, you can't miss out. Sales going on till 2022. Like jogging suits, hoodies, t-shirts, Jordan Craig, smoke wraps, crisp, sweaters, and so much more. So beat the lines and order online from Style Guys, 1252 Burnham Ave in Calumet City. Contact them today at 708-801-9481. Again, 708-801-9481. Or check them out from Tuesday to Saturday from noon to 7 p.m. or Sundays from noon to 5 p.m. Style Guys, 1252 Burnham Ave in Calumet City. Life, fashion, style. Follow some of the newest styles by Style Guys in Calumet City. Lock in The Style Guys on IG or look them up, thestyleguys.com. Gone wild. No escaping this. 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 No escaping this.
No one's ready to deal with us.
No escaping this. No escaping this. No escape.
No one's ready to deal with us.
No escaping this. No escaping this. No escape.
No one's ready to deal with us.
No escaping this. No escaping this. No escape.
No one's ready to deal with us.
You are listening to the End of the Bench podcast on Built for This Network, hosted by my man HRap.
I am her man, HRap. This is Built for This Network, HRap. This is the End of the Bench podcast called Rapping with HRap. I have my special guest in the building. As usual, we got the lovely, illustrious Charlotte. We got RaiderKev. They'll be coming on shortly. I'll be bringing them on shortly. Remember, this is a podcast. You can reach me by this in the myriad of ways. I'm not going to shorten the list because you people don't know about all those other things. What you can do is follow the show live right there. TheEndOfTheBench.com, TheEndOfTheBench.com, www.TheEndOfTheBench.com. You can go find us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and Spotify. Or wherever you choose to download your podcast. It is important that you do it that way. Find the End of the Bench and you'll get it. If you are looking at me live on YouTube, I need you to follow the instructions again that are on the screen. Bam! Look at that. High tech. Now, you know how I start each show. I acknowledge my family, my living family, as well as my ancestors who watch over me mightily. That is the Pollard family. Everybody connected to these names as well. The Pollard family. The Whitmore, Cotton, Patterson, Turner, Battle, Cotton, Cotton, Harper, Bailey, Shaw, Walker, Thompson, Chris Lansdowne, Ligon, Duncan, Trotter, Brandon, Brandy, Lott, Wilson, Johnson, Fitch, and the illustrious Williams clan. We are always in the building. As I stated, we have the illustrious Charlotte in the building. And we got RaiderKev. It's an inside joke. You got to be part of Rap Session family to understand this. Thank you, everybody who has created a profile and logged in on YouTube. And if you log in on Built for This Network on Spreaker.com, salute, even though no one has yet. And I need you to hit that thumbs up. I need you to hit that like. If you're watching on Facebook, I need you to hit that heart. Oops, didn't do it on Facebook. We're on Twitch tonight. We're on Twitch. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube right here. We're on Spreaker.com. We are on Twitter. We're on the Twitters at HRap_B at the end of the bench on Twitch. Subscribe. Like. Holla at your boy. That's what it looks like when HRap has a nap before the show. That's what it looks like. What's good, y'all? What it look like? RaiderKev. I should change that to your name on your thing. I could change that. You know that.
What's this S, man? I don't get the S.
Yeah, well, you know what?
I don't get all that.
Yeah. You don't want everybody to know what that S stands for. You know, and you know what? Since you want to be funny actor, how about that? Bam! Booyah! There it is, Jack. Let me take this banner down. Since you want to be funny, booyah!
That's that classic bully style, man.
Yeah.
We gonna live with it.
Oh, right, Charlotte. Did I get an amen? Did Charlotte get an amen? Let me.
No.
Bam!
Mr. B for bully.
Hey, whatever.
What the B stand for?
Whatever. S. RaiderKev and S. Charlotte. What it be like, bruh?
Hey, man, it's all good, man. Just enjoying a beautiful day the Lord has blessed me with, man. That's all it is.
I was talking to God last week. He didn't even know who RaiderKev was. Charlotte, how's it going?
You silly.
This is true.
It's great. Every day we here, we know it's a blessing. So
Some of us, it's a curse. No, I'm just playing. Some of these heathens living as a curse.
well, we ain't worrying about them.
We heathed out. Well, since they are on the talk show and they don't want to talk, I do. I've had a nap. I'm ready to go. This weekend is the continuance of our series about entertainment. Today, we were talking about TV and ad programming and things of that nature. We've talked about movies. We talked about music. This week we'll talk about TV and commercials. Next week we're gonna close the series out talking about social media. Boy, I got too much energy, Jack. But TV has always been one of the biggest forms of entertainment in our lifetime. You know, before us, it was movies and live concerts and things like that. But the television has taken over. We always will love the theater. Going to the movie theater is going to always be something that is always intimate. Movies, drive-ins, and things of that nature. But television has elevated to a point where movies and TV, and you can set up your stereo system. Shout out to Big Illinois for inventing that back in the 80s. Y'all don't know that. Big Illinois invented the surround sound. Bless you. Because you need it.
Sorry, man.
You need it. But, yeah, you need some blessings, Jack. But, yeah, man, shout out to Big Illinois. He invented the surround sound when we were kids. He invited me over to his crib. He put a movie on, and he had surround sound. Way before surround sound was a thing, he was like, it sounded like we at the movies, don't it? That's a real story. So TV has been paramount in our lives for time immemorial. So let's just get right into it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a TV fan are you? 10 being number uno. You are a couch potato. 1 being TV sucks. I ain't never watching. You know those people. I hate those people. And if you're one of those people, I hate you. I just know I hate you. Even if you're watching this, hit the like button and know I still hate you. If you are in the chat room, please put down on the scale of 1 to 10 how much you like TV. Charlotte, talk to us.
Okay. I am around a 3 or a 4. Strangely enough, and I notice about myself, and I don't know if it's because of the demands of my job now as a teacher is evolved over the years. This technology is something. So I have to be available by email, have to check my email. I feel like I'm on call.
Thank you, Alfred.
So because of like this constant need for me to keep up with my students and parents and things, I feel like my attention span is nowhere near like it used to be. Like I have to have the computer on, the TV on, my phone right next to me. It's crazy. I used to sit for hours and watch TV or read books, and you know my focus would be on whatever I'm doing. But I find myself constantly moving around doing stuff. So my attention span is not like it used to be, first of all. And then second of all, there's so many streaming services on now. And I feel like when we grew up, we didn't have a choice. We just had TV and we had those 7 channels and that was it. You know, we didn't have so many choices like we do now. I feel almost like it's too many choices. So my interest in just regular TV is like a 3 or a 4.
Okay. RaiderKev.
So I gotta kind of break this down in I would say like eras, because it would be very unfair just to give you how I feel about it today. There's a reason why I have a certain level of enjoyment of TV to today. So back in the day, right when I was young, growing up, TV was I would say a 10. It was everything. You know, we sat in front of the TV, we consumed most of our enjoyment or our entertainment from the TV. You know, I think when I grew up, I think TV was really becoming like a staple in the household. You know, you started having the programming that you just at the family was you know gather around, look forward to on a weekly basis, and it was the thing. You know, music was also part of my life. We talked about that the other day, but TV was right there, especially when it comes to family, and when it comes to sports. That was our thing, the TV, right? It was a huge thing. Then as I became an adult, the job that I wound up getting into as a career was a truck driver, okay? And that took me away from the TV because well, now we have streaming services, but back when I first started, there was no way of me consuming any TV programming. So it was radio, okay? So at that point in my life, it was probably a 2, just simply not having it available, okay? So as time progressed and where we are today, we have the technology where I can consume programming, but because I'm not on board with a lot of the programming, I don't like a lot of the programming, right? It lands today around a 5. I would say a 4 to a 5, right? And it's simply because the quality of programming. And Charlotte mentioned about the abundance of options. And to me, I can see how it can get overwhelming at times, because a lot of programs that I want to watch, sometimes I forget that I'm on this series because I'm into so many, right? But I appreciate the abundance of choices because of, I think, the lack of programming. Your big 3, your NBC, ABC, what's the other one?
CBS.
Well, actually 4, right? Fox, whatever it is. I don't think their programming is very entertaining to me. You know, they're stuck on this reality TV stuff. They're stuck on this, and I'm just not with that at all, right? So I really appreciate the options that we have today, know what I'm saying? I would probably give it around a 2 because network programming to me is lame, extremely lame. All right, and it's really to me I think it's really sad because I think about how I was as a kid. There was some programming we talked about it when we went to school the whole week. We would talk about it Monday. Whatever happened on that weekend, right? We'd talk about it Monday, and then Friday we're talking about what we think we're gonna see. I mean, it consumed our whole week, right? That's how good it was. That's how compelling it was, right? Today, man, for me, this is me. I'm not with it, you know. Now, certainly, there's some programmers that I'm with these streaming services that I get that same, you know, that same energy from. You know, I can't wait to watch what's happening on this particular program or this particular show. And thank God for streaming services that I'm able to watch my sports, right? So, and you know, between the sports and my particular programming off stream, that's the only reason why I can survive. I promise you, man, because I just think network programming is extremely lame in my opinion. So that's where
Oh, well, I look at it totally different, as usual, than you and Charlotte. I think TV is excellent. I think TV, only thing, we'll talk about that a little later. I think it's excellent because the streaming services make TV worth watching. I don't have HBO, but me and my family, even though we're separated now, me and my family still share the same account. I have HBO Max. So I have HBO Max on my TV and I have HBO Max in my bedroom. You know what I mean? So now I'll just pay the extra $10 to see Showtime and Stars. I'm good, right? $30 added to my bill, and I don't really, you know, I get what I want. I include the streaming services like the Hulus, the Netflix, the HBO Max, the Amazon Primes. I include that with TV, and not to mention I've watched very limited, very few episodes of things like Grey's Anatomy. Enjoyed it when I watched it. And what I've done to tap into what you said, I've eliminated sports from my purview. I watch sports like women watch sports. If it's a big event, I may watch it, and if I miss it, so what? But I'm disappointed if I miss Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med. I'm disappointed if I miss one of these Snowfall or something like that. I really enjoy TV for what it's worth. You know what I mean? And again, to piggyback off what you said, I find myself, I am so far behind in this one TV show with Jason Bateman. I can't think of the name of it right now. It's on Netflix. Awesome TV show. I think the streaming services make TV even better. So I'm with Joe, and I'm right in the middle of Joe and Big Illinois. I want to say 10. Big Illinois, Joe said 10. Big Illinois said 7. I'm gonna put it right in the middle and say 8.5 because I really enjoy it. I mean, the best thing in my life to do was to get turned off by sports because sports consume too much of my attention. I don't have to watch it. I may turn to ESPN once a week now when I used to watch it for hours on end. So yeah, I really enjoy TV. That reality TV, that's not really on network TV, Kev. That's on cable channels. Those on those T whatever. I don't know. VH1s and stuff like that. So that's what I never watched them. Like when I was with my family, they would watch it, and I would. Me and BJ be looking at each other like, really? This is what we gonna do? So we don't really. I don't mind TV. I really enjoy it. I'm trying to think of this damn TV show about this dude laundering. Joe will tell me. Joe, what's the show with the dude who laundered? Ozark. Yeah, Ozark. I got lost in that, but I mean, when I'm watching Luke Cage, watch the Marvel series, I got, the streaming services really help TV, if you ask me. That's just one of the things. Again, I do have issues with TV, but me and the homie Craig, we were just on literally Billions, another show. Me and the homie Craig was literally right before I plugged into you guys in the green room. We were literally talking about a TV show. Believe it or not, I'm in the midst of writing a TV show. So I really enjoy it. I don't enjoy all the content. I think it needs to be vast, but that'll be something we touch on later. The world has become piss poor in regards to addressing things. When we were growing up, TV used to allow you to discuss life as an adult. I was an adult in the 70s. I can't really, but I'm assuming the adults would talk about these things because they were addressed on television. You talk about Carol O'Connor and All in the Family talking about transgender in 1973. When you talk about race and equality, you had a TV show like Soap. It was a comedy, but they addressed homosexuality. They made homosexuality not it was okay, it's part of life. And that's, now we've gotten to this nonsense to whereas, people don't like homosexuality. Well, to me, that's a construct. That is a social construct. So, like I said, once I eliminated sports from my major purview, I was like, I'm done. That helped me enjoy TV more. Me and Joe, really, believe it or not, one of the hinges, so to speak, of our relationship was Law and Order. Me and Joe were already super cool, but we started talking about Law and Order, and we nicknamed SVU Rape TV, and we started laughing about that because I like Criminal Intent, he liked SVU. And we start swapping that episode. So I think TV, some of the TV has changed, but I don't think it's as bad as it. It's, where I stand, and then I'll shut up. I stand right where I stood with the music. Reality TV is the biggest thing on TV, so that's what people talk about. But people don't talk about that 50 Cent show when Homeboy was he was a lawyer. He went to the penitentiary for the wrong reason. Became a lawyer in the penitentiary, got himself out, and it's a real story. You know what I mean? So it just depends on how you view it. But I think TV is dope. I enjoy it. It is the dictionary definition, and it always has been for me, of escapism. I got a stressful life at times, and it allows me to get away. And and like those conversations, RaiderKev, well, he's buffering right now. Now, those conversations that RaiderKev was talking about, Charlotte, they're having them on Twitter. But if you don't, like I was just saying, Kev, those conversations, those water cooler conversations you were talking about, those playground conversations you were talking about, those classroom conversations you were talking about, those conversations are happening on Twitter all day, every day. So, any retort, or do y'all want to move on? Denise Milk and Cookie says TV is the bomb. Anybody want to add, subtract, multiply, divide anything I just said? So actually, the second thing, so you guys' interest has declined. Would you like to continue to expound on why, outside of the multifaceted things, what is it? I'm gonna change that question. On what are some of the things that you would like to add to TV that would bring your interest back? Well, Charlotte has her hand. Charlotte is juggling, so she can't. I'll hit you with that, Kev, unless you want to answer it, Charlotte.
Well, right now, so TC and I have a little conversation going on in the chat about the high cost of cable and us cutting the cable. I want to say I cut my cable like 2 years ago, and I was having a hard time because you guys know I love to cook. So I was on the Food Network and the Cooking Channel, but I found myself spending all my time on just those two channels, and it wasn't justifying the almost $200 a month bill for me. So I said, snip. And at first, it was so funny. It was like I was an addict. I was having withdrawal. But thank God for Hulu, right? Because I can stream them on Hulu, and I can watch it when it's convenient to me, and I don't have to be chained to cable. So interesting enough, now I have the Fire Stick too. So I heard you talk about Amazon. So I got the Fire Stick, and so that means I have access to all those apps, and I have free channels and free TV. channels on there. So I find myself watching old TV shows that I enjoyed a lot, like Criminal Minds, the Bernie Mac show, CSI, stuff like that. And I spend a lot of my time watching those shows. So from long ago, I would say my interest has declined, definitely. But those things and the points that you made in terms of us having streaming and RaiderKev at our convenience when we're able to do it kind of holds my interest. So I haven't turned it off entirely. But definitely network TV, besides Blackish, I really don't watch any of that regular network TV.
Okay. Let's do the dual screen until Kev gets back. Oh, he's back.
Okay.
He's back.
Yay.
To retort what you said so Kev could catch up, with cable, you don't need cable anymore. See, that's the beauty in TV for me. You don't need cable anymore. You can literally eliminate all. Okay, you got cable, right? And your bill, the average cable bill, if you ain't hornswoggling like I did, but the average cable bill is about $180, $190, right? None of that, because the max internet is like 110. And then, if you want to, you can fill in the blank. Most of us already paying for Amazon, so we got Amazon Prime that comes with movies. Most of us already got Netflix. I don't need network TV because I could download the Peacock app and watch everything I want. See, so it's just, to me, it's just, that's the dope part about TV. Guess what? I have never seen a live. I've been watching Law and Order since the 90s. You know, I've never seen a live episode. Because you know what I do? I DVR it, and then I watch it and fast forward through the commercials, and now Hulu, or I just watch it without the commercials. So, Snowfall came on last night. I ain't watching it till tomorrow or tonight. That's the beauty in it. Like, it's ways around this thing, you know what I mean? And then you can get real creative and allegedly use Charlotte's Hulu, and allegedly use Brian Disney Quest, and allegedly use somebody else's this, and now your cable bill is even lower. Don't fall into the matrix with this madness. You know, get together. This is why we preach. This is why I preach Tuesday. Unity, you know. With unity, your cable bill goes lower. You got 5 friends, and y'all got 5 different services. And your cable bill is $130, you do knock $70 off your cable bill, and then you can see everything you want. I mean, that's the dope part about it. That is the dope part about it. So I like I said, I've eliminated sports. I watched the very first basketball game of the season. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I turned in a playoff game. I did something in regards to sports that people would call sacrilege. I watched the Kansas City Chiefs game until the overtime started. When they flipped the coin, I turned the TV off and went and laid down in my room and watched TV. So I was like, okay, that's enough. And I'm glad. I love it. Kev, it's on you, Black.
So, what was the question?
How could you, since we attacked the question, the original question, I added this additional question. Since your interest has waned, how could your interest increase?
Well, I think it's pretty much maxed out. I think the way I consume programming, like I said, is through streaming services. If it wasn't for streaming services, I'd be totally lost. So I'm good with the shows that I am currently watching. That's to me, and how bad they were, right? And how they can get better is to give us what we're getting in the streaming services, right? If you give us what you gave us back in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 80s, real quality programming, right? Instead of this, and I heard you say like reality TV only exists in like your off channels, but look, man, you got what was it, The Bachelor and I can't even think of some of these other ones. But
Brother.
yeah, brother, yeah, those type of shows just like I have no interest in that. You're telling me it's reality, but in essence, it's a scripted. It's just a script. So that's how I separate the two. So when I talk about the negative side, I'm talking about what the big four programming is offering us, right? And there's some shows that have some value, but I'm just saying in general, the shows that are trending, the shows that I get people to talk about are shows off of the streaming services. Your Stars, your Hulu, your Prime, Apple TV. That's where I hear the buzz when it comes to programming, right? So that's why there's a disconnect, I guess, in my answer, because I look at TV being the big four, right? And I guess I shouldn't do that because we actually, all right, you got a TV, right? And you get all of it, right? You get all 300 and some channels. So I guess my answer is not legitimate because I'm breaking down my answer in the big four networks and what they're offering in competition with what the streaming services are offering us, which I think is quality and more legitimate programming, right? So how could it get better? I think if you get, really, like I said, I don't really see it getting any better. I really don't. I think it is what it's going to be. You got people that really, especially young folks that love this reality TV stuff. So what they see on the big four, they're consuming it. They love it. Okay. Us as adults, understanding the choices that we have, we're going to enjoy what we're going to enjoy. I think it's just two different planes, and I think it can't get any better. I think it is what it's going to be.
Okay. Charlotte.
You asked me already.
Oh,
It's your
well,
turn.
yeah. Well, let me go to it. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Well, I think TV it will get better if they add more conversation-inducing content instead of the programming. Again, I think it's some excellent shows on TV. I don't watch them all because I don't have time to watch them all. Like This Is Us was a great show. It was a mixed cultural family. And, the Blacklist. I think it's a ton of good TV on. Only thing I don't like is, again, I grew up in the 70s. And in the 70s, they had conversations about life. And the comedy shows, Taxi, introduce you to multicultural things. You didn't even know you were learning multicultural things when you watched Taxi. When you watched Barney Miller, they talked about culture. When you watched Welcome Back, Kotter, whatever was on TV, you learned about different cultures, and I think that is what's missing with TV. The Good Wife, How to Get Away with Murder, all those shows are dope. Like me personally, I've gotten spoiled because Hulu and Peacock, Hulu and other streaming services have spoiled me to commercials. But I think it's some excellent shows on TV every year. Snowfall is dope. Joe told me on the Sons of Anarchy. Joe turned me on to what's the other joint, Joe, with the drug dealer homie, Breaking Bad. I think these shows are excellent, but I think the conversational piece is gone. The intrigue is gone. Oh wow, they really talked about that. And in my opinion, it actually helps you get to know people. But that's the dumbing down of all forms of entertainment, in my opinion. Thanks, Joe. Oh, he said Breaking Bad. Thanks, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I think I don't think it's changed. When you have shows like Atlanta, I mean, I just think it needs to be more conversation-based television, like that TV show, The Good Wife, like the show This Is Us. This Is Us was stupendously written. It was a show, multicultural, black kid growing up in a white environment. His mom had a interracial relationship, and it even had a dream sequence, and he was dreaming about growing up in a all black household. It was dope. And those the kind of TV that's what I think is missing from TV. Grey's Anatomy, that sister that do Grey's Anatomy, she killing it. I can't think of her name right now. Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Rhimes making TV, some of the greatest TV in the history of the world, and I like it. I mean, I'm digging it, but I just think at one point we used to have a cultural interaction on television, whereas now it is purely entertainment, which isn't bad because hell, like Denise said in the chat room, when I'm stressed and I'm trying to get away from the world, I turn on me some TV, zone me right. When I get tired from writing for End of the Bench and writing for Rapping with HRap, I go turn on YouTube, turn on a TV show. It's mindless TV. I ain't thinking about nothing, and then bam, I'm gone. So that's what TV has always been for me, And then like it's to me, TV has become more like Three's Company and Happy Days. When I was raised on Mary Tyler Moore and Rhoda and Lou Grant, the show where Lou Grant would spin off, stuff like that, where they were talking about women being disrespected, black people being disrespected. When Lionel Jefferson would come over to Archie Bunker's house and they would have a interracial gender or race, gender, and sex at that messy intersection, and I was raised on that TV, so that's the TV that will always be the best to me. Issa Rae had a show like that this year, came to an end because people stepped in. Southside on HBO Max, that's funny. Yeah. So I really dig these things, and like with Franklin Saint is, people look at that as, in my opinion, as just a violent thing, and they talk about drugs, but they really walking you through America. They're pulling the curtain back, and that's the TV. You add more TV like that, and I think it'll be better, but whatever. Let me see. Some people, let's talk about what we're watching. Some people say it's called television programming for a minute because people's minds are being programmed. You have the news. Fox News literally went to court and said they're not really news. They just use the name news for entertainment purposes. And you have people participating in Fox News and looking at TV shows, and that's where they get their perception of black people, and that's where they get their perception of this group, and that's when they get their perception of that group. What do you think about TV and the ads that you see? The ads are paramount. What do you think about the TV and the ads? Got you first, Charlotte.
I think ads have always been around. So again, going back to when we were little, they were definitely geared towards us on Saturday mornings because they knew we were going to be in front of that TV watching all those cartoons. And they knew we were going to go bug mommy and daddy. I want this toy. I want that toy because it's on the TV. Even the cereals and all the breakfast foods that we were probably eating, it was because of the commercials.
Indeed.
On the TV. And then, of course, Soul Train, all of our black hair care products, Afro Sheen, Fashion Fair, all of those things. So they're definitely still there. Although now, I don't know if it's my attention span, but I feel like 50% of the ads I just don't get. Like the Super Bowl commercials. Like they spend all that money for those spots, and half those commercials I don't get. So like if you are an investment company, I don't see what having a date or whatever these weird concepts, and then you don't even know what the commercial is about until the end when you see what the company is, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what did that have to do with the commercial? Nothing. So definitely, I think that they've always been there. They're always going to be there because it's a moneymaker, right? And I do think that they influence us a lot, right? It's our dollars. Again, what comes to mind are the McDonald's jingles, right? They have one commercial for white programming, and then they have the jingles and the double dutch and the ba-da-ba-ba-ba. They have different people singing it depending on what programming they're going to air it on, right? So I feel like for sure it's always been there, and they're always going to be there because, again, it's all about the money.
Yeah. So piggyback on what y'all have said, I'm a big believer that commercials are a big influence on how we see each other. How because I think they really purposely use commercials, some TV shows to drive a certain narrative, right?
Well, again, I agree with Charlotte. The programming has always been there, but it's more intense programming now. Like Charlotte said, I mean, the terminology, the term soap opera. That's so they can sell products to wives. Soap, cleaning products. That's where the whole terminology of soap opera comes from. I just think, like again, like you said, they push a certain narrative, and they push a certain narrative, and then I think the closer you get to the top, the more you realize that there are no differences. MSNBC, CNN, they lying too, and they pushing the narrative towards that direction. So when you watch the news on TV, it's all pre-constructive context. You know, when you have a instance, whereas the terminology is, if it bleeds, it leads. That's why the whole country thinks Chicago is in a war zone, and we're not. And you'd be surprised that Chicago isn't the most violent city in the state of Illinois. We're the most populated city in the state of Illinois, but we're not the most violent city in the state of Illinois. So when you're looking at these things, Chicago, then you people like Charlemagne the God, and the first thing out their mouth is this. And then you got people like DJ Academics, and then Chicago is this. And then you got people pushing these narratives. That is something that has always been in play with TV. It's just on fire. Like, on fire at this point. I said on fire. It's just on fire at this point. Like, when you look at... at one point in my life, I felt like you felt with the LGBTQ thing. But I thought about it as recently as today, and I changed my mind. It does seem like they're pushing this LGBTQ thing down people's throats. And then I thought about being in 4th grade, Miss Bullock's class. And I remember she used to put this book called Chicago. It was social studies time. Now, we would do history. She would put Africa, Jamaica, we were studying brown history and African history, so to speak. And I was very interested. She put that Chicago book on our desk. And I was like, I want to learn about this. I don't care about this. And because as I scrolled through the Chicago book, I had nobody that looked like me. And even at age 10, can we get back to the Africa book? Because it was a bunch of people that looked like me. So when I was talking to my homeboy Ant today, shout out to Ant, me and him always have some very good conversations. I thought about it. I was like, that was exactly the conversation we were having. And when you said the thing about LGBTQ, you have, at the end of the day, you have to put somebody from the LGBTQ in every TV show, even though I think it's overkill. But I think it's overkill because I'm not part of that community. And the world isn't prepared to have on network TV, a queer eye for the straight guy show. Or the L word. The world isn't ready for that because because as you stated, we listen to Fox News. And we allow ourselves to be programmed in a specific way. That's wrong, this is right, instead of that's what it is. So I do understand that it does, but I think we have to, this is what I did. I'm not going to say what I think we have to do. This is what I did. I stepped out of HRap, the heterosexual black man's shoes, and I stepped into a human being, and not saying that you aren't. And I said, I looked at all the shows that I really liked as a child. Sanford and Son, That's My Mama, What's Happening. I mentioned this for the third time, Soap. Most of the shows I watched as a child, The Jeffersons, All in the Family, they had at least one black person in it. Now take yourself back 50 years, 45, 50 years as a white person. I'm sick of these black folks on TV. Don't nobody care about these black folks being on TV. we'd have been upset. With all these black shows on TV. So I'm not an advocate for anybody, but I'm starting to come around, you know. Because guess what? I mentioned this earlier. I didn't have no problem with, even though I was too young to actually identify what gay was, but I didn't have a problem with Billy Crystal being gay on Soap. I didn't have a problem with Monroe Ficus being gay on Too Close for Comfort. They never actually said Monroe was gay, but we knew Monroe was gay. Dynasty, Blake Carrington's son was gay, and we ain't have no problem with it. So I think that's another tool. They make us feel like including these people is a program, but the program is actually, in my opinion, y'all can respond to what I'm saying if y'all like. Y'all can interrupt at any time if you like. But I think when they make us feel like they forcing this down our throat to drive a wedge between us, because in the event that the LBGTQ have teamed up with the BLACK, it's going to be a problem for the people, for the 1%. So I think that's more of what's going on now with the programming. Something I find strange, just like you find strange, Kev, is this. And I would really like to hear Charlotte's point of view on this, because she's biracial. When you see those same ads that Kev was talking about, and you see, this is what I've noticed, along with the LBGTQ ads, and y'all see, and what I just said is literally from 2 p.m. today to now. There was a thought process that was developed just today. But I see a Latino man and a black woman. I see a white man and a black woman. I see LBGTQ couples. But you rarely see a black man and a black woman in the commercial. You will see a black man and an Asian woman, a black man and a white woman, a black man and a white man. But you don't see a black man and a black woman. And that's a problem that I have with everything. I'm listening if y'all want to retort.
Hey, Charlotte, you got something to say about?
I was just gonna say, I think we kind of bled into the next question about the goals today with the TV programming, and this is such an interesting thing for me. Of course, I'm happy to see the mixed couples, as Brian pointed out, because I am biracial and I'm 51 years old, and growing up, you didn't see any mixed couples.
Right.
You didn't see any mixed couples, or any kids that look like me. But I'm kind of I'm at the fork in the road, even with my faith. Not so much my faith in God, but that line between the love we have for Jesus and what we're taught in church, and who came up with the Bible. I'm having a struggle with that in terms of what would Jesus do, right? So that little WWJD, I feel like, has been weaponized so much. So when I say that I'm questioning and I'm struggling with my faith, it's in a way that I was raised by my grandmama, of course, King James version of the Bible, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do that, you can't do this because the Bible says this. This is what Jesus would do, this is what Jesus would say. And the whole thing about homosexuality, but then again, becoming more woke in my education, and now I'm teaching that to my kids, the actual history versus what was taught, right? So the fact that Christians and Crusaders forced that religion on others, because, Brian jokes around, but basically they thought everybody was a heathen if you weren't a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I say I'm struggling because I agree with Raider Kev about the pushing of the LGBTQ things. I feel like programming on network television is very strategic, very political. They want everybody to be accepting, as Brian said, of the couples and the things that they present as real love of what's going on in the country. And I struggle with that because my argument in terms of homosexuality is you can love who you want to love. But just like me, as a heterosexual woman who is kind of like a private person, you don't see me out there kissing my mates or whoever I'm with. Why do I have to see you kissing yours? You know what I mean? So all these years we've had all this censorship for what was appropriate for TV and what wasn't. We weren't shown things on TV. Now it's all out there, and I feel like the big push, as Raider Kev said, is for the LGBTQ thing, right? So, if we can't see a man and a woman kissing, why do we get to see two men kissing? Or why do I have to see two women kissing? And why does it have to be on prime time? You know, that's fine if that's your lifestyle, but maybe I don't want my children exposed to that. But here's the double-edged sword, and this is where I'm struggling kind of with my faith. I feel like as a Christian, we're persecuted if we're not accepting of everybody else's views.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have the right to practice our faith because we're then being seen as intolerant. And we're being told, well, Jesus would do this. Well, Jesus would do that. Well, how do you know? Who made you the authority on Jesus?
Let me ask you this question. Let me throw this turd in the punch bowl. Bloop. What about love the sinner, not the sin?
Right, and that's my struggle. So, okay, people use the Bible as saying, oh, homosexuality is a sin. Okay, but when Jesus came, he loved the sinners, right? So that's where I'm struggling. Mm-hmm. So I have very, very conservative family, right? Friends who are my family.
Most of us do.
Yes.
Contrary to popular belief, the black community is more conservative than the white community.
Yes. So very, oh no, they shouldn't be doing that. That's not right. This baker, right? This made national news. The baker, the Christian baker, who refused to make the wedding cake for the gay couple. Oh my God, did they get put through the ringer, right? And I struggle with that all the time because yes, we're supposed to love each other, we're supposed to be respectful of each other, but I have a problem when I'm being persecuted for my beliefs. If I have my business, I should be able to deny anybody I want. But we all know how that turned out.
That's
right?
Let me throw another turd in the punch bowl. So what if he don't want to serve you?
Exactly.
If Brian and Charlotte walk in there and he a white Christian, what if he don't want to serve Brian and Charlotte?
I know. That's what I'm saying. So I'm struggling with all of that just to say, everything, and we talked about this with music as well. When what we grew up with being censored, now it's a free-for-all, which is kind of funny and ironic to me because, again, looking at the Bible, it's just like now, these were predicted, right, in terms of the end of the world times. Everything is going to be on TV. Everything is going to be seen in the world. And I feel like a lot of that is coming true. These prophecies are actually happening before our own eyes. And I don't even know if you understand how I was trying to answer that question, but I just feel like it's taken us all these years as black people to try to get these rights and try to get this representation, and yet not to say that the LGBTQ community hasn't had their own struggle. I just feel like they're in the express lane and we still over here in the right lane trying to get our piece or our representation. We still have our struggle. Like, you haven't given us our TV shows and here you are giving them theirs. That's kind of how I feel. Like, it's not fair. But then, as you said, who am I to judge? Who's to say that's not fair? You know what I mean?
Been on too long.
Yeah, so that's just my struggle. And I just wanted to share that with you. When I see those things on TV, it just burns me up that we're persecuted. Everybody else is allowed to have their beliefs, you know, and we got to accept them. But if we were raised a certain way in the Christian church and we have our beliefs, oh no, you know, then we're in the wrong. Why do we always have to be the ones that are wrong, whether it's because we're black or because we're Christians? No matter what we do, we're wrong.
See, I think RaiderKev chewing at the bit. What I'm gonna do is go to RaiderKev, and then I have some retorts for the things that you said.
Thank you. I'm glad you understood.
I struggled before you started, Kev. Charlotte, as I stated, that what I said, I came up with between 2 p.m. and 7:45 p.m. while we were on air. My point of view literally changed as I logged in. This isn't Brian been thinking this way for 51 years. This is Brian ain't been thinking this way for 51 minutes. So I get it, but I'm gonna allow RaiderKev to speak his piece, speak your clout, bro.
Well, first of all, what I want to say, really, first of all, I appreciate what you said, Charlotte. I think you said things in I think a lot of things I want to say and the thoughts that I have, you brought out. And I think they are very, very appropriate because what my point, when I separate what you said earlier, Brian, as far as how black people have struggled to get their place in TV, right? And the struggles we've had just in the general community, right? And how they're pushing this narrative to us that we have to accept a certain lifestyle, okay? So let me start by saying this, okay? There's different views on homosexuality and how it starts, whether you're born with it or whether it's a choice, okay? So if you believe it's a choice, then I think it really reduces. Oh wow, I lost everything. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in the car studio. So I lost all my lighting. Anyway, so if you are on the side that it's a choice, right? Then you have to accept that you can't force a choice on someone who doesn't see it the same way. Okay? So my skin color, right, which I'm proud of. I'm proud to be who I am, right? But I had no choice in this. This is how God made me. Okay? So the fact that you're going to accept who I am, I'm going to force you to accept who I am because this is the way God made me. You can't tell me that I'm not legitimate because this is what God made me. Okay? Now, if I decide to sleep with a man and that's my lifestyle, this is my opinion. I'm not going to say that I'm correct. This is my beliefs, right? I believe a person chooses to live a certain lifestyle. So if you choose to live a certain lifestyle, I'm not going to begrudge you. I'm not going to say that trying to teach my grandkids was right and wrong, right? And I tell them, okay, this certain thing, I'm going to accept who you are, but God says this, the Bible says this. But granddaddy, how can that be wrong when every single show, every single program, every single thing that is pumped through that tube is saying that it's good, it's correct? How can I compete with that? That's the problem that I have. You can't tell me that being black, a black man, is wrong. There is no debate about that. This is how God made me. So that's where I separate the two arguments, right? When whatever struggles that they have, and Charlotte said it, perfectly. They're on the fast lane, right? They are going down the road. Look, they have programs. You mentioned earlier they don't have a network that's just geared to them. They could. They most certainly have the support. They could. They're on the fast lane. And if you say anything negative about that lifestyle, oh damn you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a right to my beliefs. Now again, I have to keep saying this. I have no problem with your choices. We all have family members that we love that have made that choice. I have no problem with it. Do I have to accept? Does it have to be? Do I have to see two men kissing on network programming? I just don't get that. Why is that cool? Why do I have to accept that? That's what you're telling me. You're telling me I have to accept it. If you're going to watch this program, you're going to watch this. That's the problem I have. Now, you mentioned earlier, okay, what good relationships, I do see some good black relationships, okay, but I see much more homosexual relationships than I do see black relationships, positive, great black relationships. That's a narrative I can't accept. That's the problem I have. They are driving a certain narrative, and look, I can't say it enough, man. To me, this is something that's strategic. It's on purpose. It's not just a half a stance. That's the word. Okay, I know that word, y'all.
It's deliberate.
It's not just something that just happens organically. No, it is driven, and that's the problem I have with it.
Okay. So, the question I have is this. I'll put us all three on the screen. This is the question I have. You feel the way you feel. And you think the way you think. And can't nobody change that. And should nobody judge you for it. But in 1968 or 65, when Julia came on TV, there's a bunch of bigots saying, what this black woman on TV for? Why we got to see a black woman on TV? And then when That's My Mama came on and Sanford and Son came on, there's a bunch of people saying, what these black people doing on TV? And as far as if they were saying, this is being pushed down our throat, and I don't want to see this. I don't care about no black people being on TV. I want good old fashioned white TV.
I think it's a difference because
Please explain. Please explain to me the difference.
the difference is because you have a problem with my skin color. I can't remove my skin color.
It don't make a difference to them. See, it's a difference to you because it's you.
No, you can't put an argument out there.
Yes, I can. I just did.
No, but it's a wrong. To me, it's a wrong. It's not.
So what's the difference in you and the bigot?
It's not a parallel argument.
Yes, it is. Because that's something that you don't agree with. The bigot doesn't agree with black people being on TV.
That's their problem.
And that's your exactly.
Okay, it's not. Okay, what is it based on?
It's based on their point of view.
Exactly, their point of view.
And that's your point of view.
No, my point of view. I don't have a problem
And that's what they say.
What I have a problem with.
That's exactly what they say. I don't have a problem with black people. I'm not a racist, but they shouldn't be on TV.
Side of your argument, they're saying a black person should be accepted because of their skin color.
As Joe just said, it's based on hatred.
Exactly. That's hatred for them.
And you're talking, but what? It's a bunch of people that's thinking like you that hate gay people.
Okay, that's them.
But we're not talking about RaiderKev. We're talking about the world, sir. We're talking about the world. You can condense it to me exclusively, but if you're an intelligent person, you have to understand that there are millions of people that will use your argument and say just like they did a poll 2 weeks ago, and people said the NFL is doing too much for black people. 2 weeks ago.
I get that. I understand.
Is that right? Is that right?
No, it's not right. But why is it not right?
Because they are only looking at it through the prism of their point of view, through a shallow prism. If you look at things through a shallow prism, you never get to see the beauty of the colors. But if you going, it's me, I don't want black people on TV. Because the same people that don't want black people on TV, they don't want gay people on TV either.
But it's for a different reason, though.
No, it ain't. I don't want it. I don't like it.
No, that's not. You're taking everyone's argument and putting it into my view.
No, I'm not. This has nothing. What I'm talking about has nothing to do with you. Has zero to do with you.
Nothing to do with me.
It has absolute. There are people that walk the face of the earth that don't want gay people on TV. And those same people don't want black people on TV. They don't want Latinos on TV. And it's for the same line of thinking. Because I'm sick of seeing these black people.
Those views are driven by hatred. They're not driven by...
You're speaking from your perspective. I'm speaking from a global perspective.
You're not hearing what I'm saying.
Yes, I am. You're not hearing what I'm saying.
I do hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I'm telling you why I don't agree with you. I'm telling you why...
You don't have to.
It's a different perspective. The perspective that they're basing it on is hatred. It's their problem because they hate a certain lifestyle.
So what about the dudes? What about the people who say, I don't have no problem with gay people being on TV. I just don't want them on TV. And then the dude right next to him said, yeah, I don't have no problem with black people. There's just too many of them on TV.
Again, my point is...
I asked you a question. How do you separate those two people?
What is the driving force behind it?
Again, you're not listening. You didn't answer the question. What about the person that sits on TV that says, I don't mind black people, but it's too many of them on TV. And he also says, I don't mind gay people, but it's too many of them on TV too.
Okay, so what is your question about that? What are you asking?
How do you separate that?
I just told you I don't. Those opinions are driven by hatred.
Hold the person, again, I'm going to say it slowly because you are omitting something. What about the person that says, I don't hate black people, I don't hate gay people, but I don't want to see as much of them as I'm seeing?
The only way I can answer that question is the way I've answered it a few minutes ago.
So they're lying?
See those people is because those views are driven by hatred for that.
So you just don't ignore the fact that they said, I don't hate.
No, you're missing what I'm saying, though. I'm not, they are saying, I don't hate them. But the only way you can say that is because you hate them.
Oh, so they're lying.
Say that,
So they're lying.
so you're not letting me finish. You're not letting me finish. Because I'm trying to explain to you why I feel the way I feel. My base of view is not based on hate.
I'm not talking about you, though. You keep making this about you.
Okay, I see both points of view. So my question, and I put it it in the chat is, are color and lifestyle the same thing?
No. Culture and lifestyle. You know what?
Color, not culture, honey. Color.
Colors are made up construct.
The example that you're bringing up, right? So people's hatred of seeing black people on TV versus people seeing LGBTQ people on TV. So to me, that's color and that's lifestyle, which I think RaiderKev was trying to bring up when he said, we're born this color.
Mm-hmm. But what about the gay people that say they born that way?
I was just about to get there. Calm down. Breathe.
I'm not upset.
You sound upset because your voice just went, whoa, hello.
Oh, my God.
It just went, whoa, way up there. So that's why we're having this discussion. That's why we're asking these questions, right? And those of you in the chat, please jump in and help us work our way through these questions. So then that's my question. So there's nature and then there's nurture. So what is it? We already know what our skin color is. So then that's my question. Are people born heterosexual and homosexual? Or so many of students, I have students myself who just believe they were born one sex but are truly meant to be the other sex. So are we born that way? Are we being taught that? That's my question.
I'm listening.
I've already answered it. And that's the separation that's the distinction I was making in my argument. The distinction is that you have a choice to live a certain lifestyle. I have no choice to be a black man. This is the way God made me. Now, and I said it earlier, some people feel that homosexual, that lifestyle is something you're born with. And if that's your argument, then I have no answer for you. But the way I believe, and see, you're taking what everyone else, and that's cool. I'm saying how I believe. This is what I believe. I believe it's a choice. And if you have a choice, then feeding me that narrative to me is wrong. Because now you're feeding me a choice. Instead of on the construct, on the opposite, you're saying that my color is a problem because I don't want to see this color on TV. Why I can't change this color. That's the differences in my opinion about the narratives. The person that looks at a black man on TV or a black woman on TV and say, that's too much of that, and what are you supposed to do? That's the way they are born. And I don't have a problem with a gay couple or a homosexual couple on TV. What I have a problem with is when you're trying to drive that narrative like that's something I have to accept regardless to my spiritual beliefs. That's my whole point.
And me, I told you, I struggle with that. I'm not pretending to have the answers. I'm not pretending to know what it is, but that brings me to the second point of they seem to be getting they're in the fast pass lane, whatever that thing is, right? They're getting the express lane because they're getting all this representation on TV. It's 2022, and how long has it taken us to get representation? We've had that discussion too. So it just seems like, as going back to the question, yes, the ads and things are targeted. I feel like they're, they have target audiences, but it seems like they're not pushing black programming. And as you said, a black man and a black woman, how many commercials do we see? They're not pushing that the way that they're pushing the LGBTQ+. That's what RaiderKev is saying. That's what I'm saying. And we're not discounting what you said, Brian. And I'm so glad that you said that you made that decision even as we were going on the air. And see, and you opened up my mind. And again, that's what I'm struggling with because we don't know the answers and we're trying to be faithful, right? And we're trying to be closer to God and do what He wants us to do. But with so many mixed messages, I don't know what to do. All I can do is exactly what else RaiderKev says, and that is we just have to love one another and let God the judging and let him take care of it, because that's not my place.
So what do you do with your children when you see violence on TV? Because it's on every channel.
I turn it off.
But it's on every channel, so kids can watch
turn
TV?
it off and have a discussion with them and let them know, yes, there's violence in the world.
So what do you do when you turn on your news program and they bad-mouthing black people all the time?
We have that discussion. Just like I'm sure you, as two strong black kings on here, had to sadly take your sons aside and teach them the realities of police officers and going out into the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Even though we
Yeah,
see
exactly.
those news stories, just like you just said, you take them aside and you have that extra conversation with them.
Right. Right. I just have a conversation. I just talk to them about it and have a conversation about it. Okay. See, I think everything that I'm saying is being broke down into a different narrative or a different view. You're broadening my view. I can't say like how I see it. You're breaking it into how the world sees it, right? And I'm telling you how I see it and how I do it, right? So when you talk about violence on TV, right? If something is happening, first I would explain to them, hey, this is only entertainment. That's not how the real world works. Or I would explain, you have to be wary of this because this is real. This can happen to you. This is how you deal with it, right? And that's how I deal with it. So, I mean, I'm not sure where you're going with that.
I was just asking.
No, okay. Just a conversation. Simple conversation.
Because I don't want to be perceived as angry.
Yeah,
Hey, man, look.
Because that will make me angry.
Hold on. I want to say something. This is a break. This is a public service announcement, right? HRap and I do this all the time, right? You're just seeing it, okay? All right? We have debates because we don't see things in the same way. But this is what makes us stronger, right? This is what this show is about. This show is trying to emphasize the strength that we have in diverse ways of thinking. So we're not arguing. We believe what we believe. HRap is not mad. He has a certain way that he wants, a certain viewpoint he wants to be seen and recognized, and he's just passionate about it. So anger is not it. So anybody that's saying that he's angry or whatever, no, chill. He's just passionate. Okay? And trust me, he and I gonna always be cool. We always gonna talk like this. This ain't never gonna stop because this is what makes us strong. And this is what we need in the community, to be strong and have a different way of thinking. So I want to say that and make that point.
I just want to know if you were going to talk to me about your spirituality and your relationship with the Lord, what if I judge you on that? Because that's a choice.
Charlotte just mentioned that.
I'm just saying that was a rhetorical question.
Oh, okay.
So our community gets into the habits of, as you guys stated, you and a few other people have said, that's a choice. But y'all don't have no problem. People have no problem telling who they pray to and what's right in their point of view. But the moment it's the opposite point of view, we will shoot that person in the street. I just find it kind of strange.
Yeah, that's my struggle. My mind is being open. I'm trying to be faithful and do the right thing, but who's to say what we've been taught all these years in the Bible wasn't also manipulated? That these are the struggles that I have. So we've been told, right? Everything in that book is God breathed. Anybody who
Well, we know that's not true.
That's what I'm saying. But this is what we've been taught. So how do you break? And that's my confusion, and that's my struggle, and that's what I'm confessing to all of you.
This is what I always go back to. Love the sinner, not the sin. Judge not, yet ye be judged.
Right.
And if you want to know why the LGBTQ community is moving in that direction, it's because you have agnostic people in that crew. You have atheist people in that crew. You have Christian people in that crew. You even have Muslim people in that crew. You have Jehovah's Witness people in that crew. But you know what they ride for? The crew. They ride for the crew. And I personally believe we separate with all those streams. If you can't even be an atheist in the black community without being excoriated. I don't believe in nothing, but I do want the best for black people. How you don't believe in Jesus? You'll get shot down in the street. If you ask me, that's the problem. We too busy focusing on other people instead of the goal, if you ask me. That's why I kept saying, if it's a choice, that's their choice. I don't give a damn what your choice is. If it's not, there it is. But at the end of the day, why are we talking about it? That's the thing that trips me out. We will talk about that, but we won't talk about this, connecting. We will talk about, you got a white man. You got a white woman. You got this. You don't believe in Jesus. You a Muslim. I got people in my crew that criticizes me for eating mushrooms. They're vegetarians and get mad when people ask them about them no longer eating meat. That's what I'm talking about. The constant evaluating, the lack of wanting to be evaluated, but the problem, and you have no problem pointing the finger. Because just like the gay agenda is being pushed down your throat on TV, the violent, deadbeat, dad, black agenda is being put on TV, the angry black woman is an agenda that's being pushed on TV. The fact that we don't have nuclear families is being put on TV. The lack of education. Why is more black men in jail than in college? That is the greatest lie ever. And you've been hearing that, Charlotte, for 30 years. We've been hearing that for 30 years. But we don't attack that. We go, them, the gay people. When it's really them, the one, as James put, the 1%. Why do we, if we can have a conversation about violence with our children, we can have a conversation with angry black women about our children and all the other things that they excoriate us for or propagandize about us, we got that same conversation about the LGBTQ. All we have to do is sit down with our children and say, hey, some people are like that. That's the choices that they make. This is how I believe it. And as you get older, you'll make a decision too. That's all I'm saying. Because when you got a poll out there 2 weeks old, right at the Super Bowl, saying the NFL does too much for black people, that sounds to me just like it's too much LGBTQ propaganda going on out there. Because the TV people are saying, well, that's a crew too, and they watch TV too, and we wanna uplift them. Really, they saying we can make money off them, so we're gonna include them and make them watch. But that's the lie that they would tell. Just like the NFL is saying, damn, they wouldn't say it, but hell, this league 75% black, and we lost a lot of money when we screwed over Colin Kaepernick, and a lot of those people walked away, and half of them didn't come back. That's all I'm saying. I don't see it that way. Now, that's something I always did think. And it's just, There go a question. Why don't we have it? Because guess what? Magic Johnson has his own network. Aspire, Revolt, Puff Daddy got his own network. Okra, she got her own network. And here's the crazy part. In the last 3 to 5 years, Okra has had 2 of the most popular, and I know I'm saying Okra.
I was listening.
Yes, I'm saying that purposely. She has had 2 of the biggest TV shows on TV, and Queen Sugar and that church show on her network. And when that church show, or Greenview or Greenville, or when it was the pastor and his daughter, Greenleaf. Wasn't that on Okra Channel?
I think it was.
Those are 2 of the biggest shows on TV in the last 10 years. So we do have our own outlets, but we don't push our own agendas. And they do. They got somebody 24/7, 360. They got Rachel Maddow. They got Ellen. We got Tamron Hall. We got Don Lemon. Shit, Don Lemon in both gangs. Allegedly. He really in that gang hard. But he I don't know if he in our gang. He our gang facing. But we have Roland Martin. How many of us subscribe to Roland Martin's page? YouTube channel. That's Black
I
News.
feel like for every one that we have, they have 10. And I feel like that's part of the problem too. We need to pull together.
Is that a...
Instead of picking one, you know what I mean? Like we have a Tyler Perry. We have an Oprah. We said this so many times, and I just feel like it's not enough. Like it's a drop in the ocean, and we need to make the bigger impact.
Is that a perception that it's enough, or is it a reality? Because who's the LGBTQ person that owns the networks? But we just named 3 black people that do. Shonda Rhimes is holding it down for TV. Lee Daniels is making movies. It's a bunch of us doing things, and I think, and I'm going to be quiet, I think we do a lot of overlooking of us and saying what we don't have when we actually do.
Well, maybe I just don't know.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not speaking about you, because this isn't a Charlotte and a Kevin thing. This is a black thing I'm talking about. We consistently say what we don't have. What do we have?
And support the ones we do.
Because media outlet, Roland Martin. TV One is control and under the control of a black woman. Okra, Magic, Puff. They own those things. Damon Dash owns his own network. All we have to do is get on the phone with AT&T, Comcast, and Spectrum and say, we need those channels to be highlighted on everybody's. I need that. I don't think we do that enough. And then when other people say something, like, for example, we ain't even got 1 million subscribers on this. What would happen if one of us said something anti-LGBTQ?
That'd be a problem.
It'd be a problem. Because they got people watching things like this for that. I typed in as a joke a homophobic joke to my son's Facebook page. You know I'm on probation right now. They on Facebook. They say you say something like this again, you suspended. But we, as I say every Tuesday, I complain to RaiderKev, I complain to Charlotte, I complain to Big Illinois, I complain to Chris. But who else I'm complaining to? That's all I'm trying to say. Whether it is an agenda or not, we complain laterally. We discuss laterally. How many people, I'm going to ask y'all this and then I'll get y'all the floor back. How many people who are in your direct circle who are low vibrating or negative or neutral energy. They don't have the mentality of, as I climb, I uplift. Everybody got somebody in their circle like that. Why?
I just think it's just seeing the world in a narrow view. They have certain experiences, and they only see the world in that way. They don't see it, they don't broaden their view. So what they have experienced, that's all it is. And because it's limited, we're limited. So that's the way they see it. But go ahead, then I'll let Sean answer.
The floor is yours, Kev. Man, stop talking, man.
No, I want Sean to answer how she viewed that.
Here we go with the no talking.
I feel like we talked about this on King and Three Queens on Tuesday with their show No New Friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
People just hold on to what they know. They get comfortable. They're afraid of change, and that means relationships too. They hold on to it because it's familiar.
Yeah. So Brian, going back to what you were saying earlier, okay? You were saying that the black community, we're not as
galvanized, together, unified.
Right, and the gay community, right? They on top of it, right? My argument isn't that that's the one that's taking your point, your statement, and banning you from Facebook. It's the whole media. It's just not that community. It's not the homosexual community that's banning you. It's the whole media structure that's driving this narrative. It's not just their community. That's the point that I was trying to make earlier. It's if you take what we are lack of and say we don't do this, we're not looking at pushing our agenda hard enough. Okay? And they are. But it's not just their community. It's the whole media that's pushing that narrative. That's the problem I have with it. If it was just them, then I'm good with it. But to me, this is the way I see it. This is the way I see it, HRap. I'm not saying this is the way everyone sees it. Okay? This is the way I see it. I have a feeling that there's a higher power that is pushing all these networks, all this program, all this to drive that narrative. We must push this down these people's throats, and they have to accept it, regardless of their feelings about it. So it's not just the community that have them on the fast lane. I think it's the powers to be that have them on the fast lane, and we still, on the shoulder trying to catch a squirrel. That's the way I see it.
Let me ask you this. When Chappelle said what he said, who stepped up and said, this shit is wrong?
I get it.
No, please answer the question, please.
Okay,
Please answer the question.
Okay, well, the question, if you want me to answer the question, I did. But there wasn't enough of me saying it. And I get what you're saying. There's not enough people that's out there standing up for what we should be standing up for. I get that point. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that community is who's driving the narrative?
Yeah. Yeah, because they...
That's where we differ.
Okay, can I give you some examples?
Okay.
When Dave Chappelle said what he said about the community and people identified it as something wrong, you know what they went out and did? They started a campaign saying, not only do we think it's wrong, we want people to help us identify it as wrong. They went out and solicited people. They was like LGBTQ and LGBTQ adjacent people, come help us get rid of him. Didn't work, but that's what they did. We don't do that. We complain. Or basically, give me, you know what, I'm wrong. We do that. Give me an example of us doing it though. Okay.
But, and I get what you're saying, and that the example you just brought up is a great example of them standing up and identifying a problem, and you know. But what I'm trying to say is, are they driving the narrative, or driving the forcing the general media to make sure that they are shown on TV programs, they're shown on commercials? Are they driving that, that effort?
You want me to answer?
Go ahead.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Because you know what? When a politician stands up and does something wrong, their whole crew is on his behind. They not sitting around trying to see the reasonable portion of it. They own them. When something don't go their way, they move in unison. When something don't go our way, it's people trying to see the bright side. It's people trying to understand why. See, you got to look. If I say something bad about another culture, it's people that are either watching or will watch. The first thing out of their mouths is going to be, not all of them. But when you say something about that crew, that whole crew, not only do they do it, and guess what? They TV producers, they're heads of business, because the problem is they can hide, we can't. Which means we need to be on top of it. Y'all right. They have moved in front of us. But how is that possible when we've been fighting longer? That's y'all question. When the last time the average person in our community got a whole bunch of people together voting, got a whole bunch of people together to move in one direction? When Louis Farrakhan step up, it's going to be some people that say, yeah, but I ain't a Muslim. When Jesse Jackson step up, he ain't shit. When Al Sharpton step up, he ain't shit. When Joe the Barber step up, he ain't shit. But when Kanye step up, we stand behind pure madness. It just seems strange to me. It seems strange to me.
Yeah, my argument is that I don't really think that it's just them that's pushing this narrative. I think
Can you give me an example, please?
Well, okay. Brian, I'm not good at that, man. I don't have the examples off the top of my head.
What makes you feel that way?
Because the multitude of examples that I have to on displays that I have to endure in every program, every ad that I watch. That's what I'm saying. Do they have that type of influence that you're going to have every program have that narrative driven to us? Every commercial, that narrative is being driven to us. And if your answer is yes, they have that type of power, then I'm wrong. I'm saying is that it's not just their community that's pushing this narrative. That it's a broader, they have broader support. They have an agenda. Listen, and look, there's another conspiracy I really don't want to get into. But I don't. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to deflect the whole argument, right? Because I think it's a bigger agenda. I think the reasoning, to me, there's a bigger reason why they want it to be comfortable for people to accept same-sex marriages, same-sex relationships. I think it's a broader picture. And that narrative is being driven so we can accept it and make it and be comfortable with it. We can sit down and say, oh, there's no problem with it. Okay? We can get comfortable with it. And I think there's a broader support system that they have versus the support system that we have. And that's the point that I am trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do things correctly. I would give you that. And I'm not saying Charlotte RaiderKev.
Chris agrees because he put something in the comments. He said that there are people that live and support that lifestyle that hold power positions in the media and entertainment. And that goes along with what RaiderKev said. That they have more support than just their people, whereas with us...
Yeah, because we support that shit.
Yeah.
We support it.
Well, we don't have a problem with it. That's the point. That's one of the points I was making. I don't have a problem. This is the point I was trying to make earlier. And this is the distinction in between hating someone and accepting someone for who they are. I don't hate anyone in that lifestyle. Okay? If you hate me because of my skin, there's a difference. Because I can't change this. This is me. But you hate me and you don't want to see me on TV because of this. And I think that's wrong. You don't have an argument for that. I'm not saying that I hate that community. I don't hate that community. What I hate is, and I'm gonna say hate. Hate is a strong of a word. What I see is a problem is that you're driving that lifestyle, and I don't have an option of whether I should accept it or not because you're gonna drive it down my throat without any hesitation, every way facet that you can. That's what I see happening. It's not about hatred of that lifestyle. It's about what I see they are driving to us.
I can dig it. I can dig it. But I see black people joining and helping that thing, and I don't see black people standing around helping our thing.
I agree.
So until black people put the same energy behind our thing as they do helping other people, reminds me of a Brother J lyric from X Clan. I asked you to free South Africa, you go to Berlin. So.
Right.
It's like the United States itself. We want to jump in and help everybody else and look at the many problems we got in our own home.
Right.
You got black people over here that won't even say they African. I ain't African. But you're a descendant of, you are openly to say you're a descendant of a slave, but you're not African. Where the hell were they getting them from?
Right.
So, I mean, potato, tomato, tomato. It's just an interesting point of view, period. Because hey, it is what it is. It is what it is at this point. And it is what it is. Final thoughts, everybody.
Well, my final thoughts is that I think in general, TV, and some things you said earlier kind of changed my perspective because I was looking at TV as like the broadcast, right? The big four, right? And when you said some of the things you said, I had to change the way I thought about it because, yeah, TV is not just that. TV is how we consume all our programming, right? Streaming services, your outliners. I say outliners because they're not really outliners, but what's the one? FX. All these programs. These are big channels, right? So,
FX is a subsidiary of Fox.
Yeah, I realize that. But what I'm saying is, I was thinking about this when we first brought the subject up as the big broadcast networks that you could get over the air without cable, and I was separating them away from the streaming, the cable type channels, and that's where if I really include the whole bundle, then my original rating goes up because I have no problem with programming today because I have a great opportunity to pick and choose what I watch, and the availability of so many vast, great programming on different networks is a luxury that we do have
1 second. Charlotte.
It's funny because I think about my daddy. My daddy passed away in 1988. He loved his TV. And I remember very clearly us standing outside of our apartment and having a conversation with the neighbor. He said he was complaining about what the world was like then. And I very vividly remember him saying, before you know it, they're going to be charging us for water. And I'm thinking about all of the water I have purchased in our house, because I don't even just buy cases of water. My daughter and I drink so much water, we have the 5-gallon bottles delivered monthly, because we go through that one of those 5-gallon bottles like every 2 weeks. So he will be pitching a fit knowing that I buy water and I buy TV. Because like Raider Kev, when we first talked about this and looking at the questions, I was thinking network television as well. 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, 26, 32, and was like, no, I don't watch any of that anymore. But definitely the streaming. And I think Kev was buffering then when I told Brian I like it because I can go back in and re-enjoy some of the TV shows I did enjoy when they were on TV, like Criminal Minds and CSI and stuff like that. And then we just have so many options now. I just wish, and we've said this so many times, like those networks and those things that Brian just told us, I honestly don't know. And I think that's part of the problem. If we were educated on who owned what networks, I feel like just like we get our friends and family to support this show and support Brian and Raider Kev on their shows, we could do that for those networks. And that's my point. I just feel like it's, as Brian has said, we need to come together, right? That's the whole point. It's we're over there, we're over there, we're over here, and it's not enough to make enough of an impact. I want to see us all pull together and see TV shows and movies that are representative of all our lifestyles. The true representation of all of us. We're all different, so our TV shows should be different, not the stereotypes that everybody sees. So just like everything else, we have to come together and we have to support what supports us and stop putting our time and energy and money behind those things that have no interest in us. So those are my final thoughts.
And as usual, my final thoughts are simple. And it's going to be very brief. If you want to be respected, you must issue respect. We can no longer look at things from our perspective. You must step outside of your shoes and walk and try on somebody else's shoes and walk around the block and then try on somebody, like the game Duck, Duck, Goose. Everybody was in a circle. Take off your shoe and you ran around the circle and then bam. I think we need to put ourselves in other people's shoes and then we can rightfully make decisions. I think in our community, we don't do that enough. We take sides and we stand on that side. And I think it's going to be the detriment of us, to be perfectly honest. Because we only look at things through a shallow prism. I just personally believe that. So we must unite and ignore our differences and move together as one. I don't care who you believe in. I don't care who you pray to. I don't care who you lay with. If the mission is to make us better, that's what we need to do. And once we get us better, then we can have that conversation about who you lay with, who you pray to, and anything else you want to have a conversation about. And with that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. RaiderKev and Charlotte Hold tight after the show. I want to. Damn, I looked at the damn thing. I want to salute the people who inspired me. That is the Ghetto Boys: Tariq Nasheed, Nori, Talib Kweli, Ray Grady, Zoe Williams, Corey Holcomb, Craig Smith, Al Sharpton, Heather B, the brother Clay Kane, super dope brother out there. Laree Daniel favorites, one of my she is my favorite. Dr. Greg Carr, one of the most informed people you ever come in contact with. Look him up online. You'll feel better after you watch it. Anything that Dr. Greg Carr does. Karen Hunter, Queen Mother Karen Hunter, the elder Joe Madison, and y'all know Craig Smith, and I shout out Craig Smith and Reggie O'Shea, aka Combat Jack, every week by saying dream those dreams and man up and woman up and live those dreams, because life without dreams flows in black and white, life with dreams flows in technicolor and surround sound. And y'all already know, if I owe you something, I ain't got it. I definitely don't have it, and if you need it, get it from God.
We lust for that cheese, we lose sleep, dreams of that cream. We killing our teams, they down for this American dream. Them government schemes, they turning us to hustlers and fiends. We hustling trees, the politicians smuggling green. Chasing that cheese, got everybody stressed in the streets. Pardon me for speaking freely, let it breathe. Evangelists preach to congregations out of their seats. They writing them checks for tithes, now as people can't eat. She stripping for change for school, now she giving them brain. She used to that loot, she earning, now she giving them strain. He new to this game, but hungry, so he cooking his cane. He getting that paper, but then they gave him tools to the brain. There's rules to this game, but hustlers never hustle for fame. The spirit of greed is grimy, so we struggle to change. They put us in chains and take away our African names. But if we submissive or don't resist, then who do we blame? It's all a game, man. These Europeans thinking they claim that you a victim of their game plan. You thinking they ain't, you thinking they saints. Remember all them niggas they hang? Killed our women and our children, all our leaders is slain. They gave us Obama, but that nigga was hoping for change. But Zimmerman is killing niggas and he free. Shit is crazy, babies having these babies and getting checked. But keep the child from they pop to rip his heart out his chest. Our rappers was leaders and now they in the booth in the dress. Spitting bullshit and making more, but giving us less. They taking our sound and changing ours, dumbing it down. They taking our jobs and homes and they shutting us out. They taking our kids because it ain't a man in the house. They locking us down, but soon they gon' be wiping us out. They told our women they was too independent to need a man. Told our brother he was too insignificant to advance. All a game, man. These Europeans staking they claim that you a victim of their game plan. You thinking they ain't, you thinking they saints. Remember all them niggas they hang? Killed our women and our children, all our leaders is slain. It's all a game.
We are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.
We lust for that cheese, we lose sleep, dreams of that cream. We killing our teams, they down for this American dream.
I'm pissed. Because I'm tired. No, I'm serious, man. I'm tired of having to explain to these dumbass niggas in our community, and I mean that, these stupid ass niggas, that passion does not mean anger.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sick of that shit, man. I'm dead. That's why I say, hey, man, hold on. Because, I'm sick of that shit. Because you ain't passionate about shit, but you want to send me fucking petitions about Moore's Day not being able to use the time. You passionate about bullshit.
Man, don't let that bother you, man.
No, it does. It pisses me off. It pisses me off. I'm sick of this shit. Calm down. What the fuck you mean calm down? It's called a debate.
Right, exactly.
I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of fucking people.
It wasn't even a debate. You were just
Passionate.
in our mind.
Exactly.
Exactly. If y'all not offended, why the fuck are they? I'm sick of that shit. Dude, I'm like,
They don't know us. They
But-
think they know us.
but it ain't about knowing.
I know.
It's just about, goddamn, listen, be a part of it.
Right.
Stop. That was my fucking point.
Yeah, but
Stop judging.
right. You know what it is, though, man?
These niggas is stupid. They don't care about nothing.
Right, but it's, they don't understand, like, adults, man.
Dude, these people, there's nobody in the damn chat under 35.
But they don't make them an adult.
Mature audiences only.
We gonna have to have some fucking senior citizens listen then.
Right? Well, how many times we talk about, the lack of real men and the real way of thinking? You know what I'm saying? I think that shows in those comments, man.
The shit just woosah. I almost ended the show.
Oh,
I was
man,
like,
don't do that, man.
if you, no, I'm talking about tonight. If you notice, we were going back and forth, was getting heated, and when she wrote in that woosah, I was like,
Because they don't know.
because I mean, think about it. When she wrote in woosah, I stopped debating.
Yeah.
I was like,
She is new to the show. Remember, she
no, Charlotte. She's been around. No offense, she was around before you.
Oh.
Yeah, she has been around.
But
Something.
RaiderKev heard her arguing about some dumb shit about music a month ago.
Right.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all, you passionate about some stupid shit.
Right.
And it's like,
But they don't matter.
it does matter because she represents more people than y'all giving her credit for.
Yeah.
My stupid ass sister Phyllis gonna tell me I'm dealing with trauma. What trauma? You're the one that had the issues. I had a fucking cakewalk of a life. How many people you know dropped out of college with a fucking strong C average that have worked at 3 or 4 Fortune 500 companies?
I feel you.
The fuck?
Hey,
What?
but look, man. Let me try to.
It ain't gonna work, bro.
View of
It ain't gonna work, bro.
Like this. Who we trying to reach though? Are we trying to reach?
Yes. We trying to reach those fucking dummies because they are the reason you are mad about the LGBTQ shit because they would rather listen and do nothing and then judge me versus hearing what we're both saying and activate.
Yeah.
All we can do is plant the seed, and then God has to water them. We don't all wake up at the same time.
Them
I
motherfuckers
tell
ain't
you
never.
that all the time. This stuff that you and Kev teach me, and I'm almost ashamed because I'm 51 years old and I feel like I should have knew that.
But that's the thing, Charlotte. You mentioned that. Me and Kev learned from you equally.
Exactly.
When you speak of, but that's the thing. We're available to listen, absorb. I'm a chew up the meat, spit out the bone kind of person. Okay, and then I'm done. But people, you know what it really is? Just more motherfuckers. Instead of you know what happened tonight? Instead of listening to what we had to say, they were looking at my shirt again.
You think so?
That's the same shit. That's the same shit when I did my show.
What shirt you got on?
No, I'm just saying. No, metaphorically. But when I did the show,
When you wear it.
when I did the show, because I was running late and I did the show in my fleece, I had somebody reach out to me and say, "Why you do it in the fleece?" So fuck what I said.
Right.
Who cares what we wearing?
That's my point. And it don't make a difference what I said. You're angry. Fuck you. I'm telling you, this is the type of shit that makes me go, I should go back to sports and say, fuck all y'all.
No,
Oh man.
no.
I'm telling you, because it's fucking point. This is why old men shut the fuck up.
No.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Don't do that, man.
I'm just saying.
Look,
This is
the
why.
struggle tells you that what you're doing is right. If it was roses and everybody was loving it, then I say we gotta worry. Something ain't
Yep.
right. We not
Great
touching.
point, Sean.
When she
we not
said,
touching the
when
right.
trust me, I get it. I understand where y'all coming from. But when she said, woosah, I was like,
So then you stop reading the comments. And
no. But it's still, that don't make it, just because you don't write it, don't mean it ain't there. And you just like, what the fuck?
But see, you the more liberal one because you keep those people in your circle. What did I tell you?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
See ya.
No, I don't.
I don't care. I don't care.
Well, I don't care how they feel about it, man. I enjoyed this show, man. Again,
It's just-
man, I love when we have these differences of opinions, man.
direction from the
Right.
script.
I don't think so. I don't think because ultimately the debate was about what's being shown on TV.
Right. I love this, man.
But
Somebody is going to get something out of it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
yeah.
I feel.
But like the thing, it's this was my whole. You know what happened was my entire point. We judging and not activating because this is gonna make me sound arrogant,
God bless you.
but I can tell by people's answers. I knew he'd get angry.
But Chris was listening.
Chris wasn't listening.
James, what did you
Hey,
say, James?
I don't even know who James Odom is, but he was listening.
He does the show with Tiger Park.
Oh.
Yeah.
DMVJ.
Not Big Mo.
Yeah, DMVJ. Damn,
Yes.
that is DMVJ.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yes, he got a lot out of it. My friend Peggy got in for 5 minutes. She usually have connection issues. She couldn't even get in. We got to look at
But
them.
hold it. But look at the people who got it. James, who does a show just like this. Peggy, who we already know got
But
sense.
that's okay.
No, I'm just saying, it's just that shit.
And people watch this later, and they're going to get something out of it. I don't even want to know what Ron said because you deleted all his messages.
No, I just blocked him.
Okay.
I got tired of him talking about fucking football.
Yeah. Ron be coming with some off the wall comments, man. I don't know if he's all there.
Well, his ass was all gone.
Right. I don't know if he's all there, man.
Cause you could put people on a 5-minute break and he just never came back.
Yeah.
I put him
Look,
on.
man, you know what I want? I'm really, man. You know, we talked about this not too long ago. I'm not speaking to, when I say things, I'm not necessarily speaking to our audience that's in the chat room live. I'm thinking about the other people that's going to watch later on, right? Because I think what I was going to say, one of my points is I think the reason why they're pushing this narrative is because of population control. I think our, people in our chat room will probably been on board with that. I'm thinking about the other people who are thinking outside the box. The people that's blocking you on Facebook. Because I think that's the audience I'm trying to reach. That's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to reach that audience, So whatever was said in the chat room, man, don't let that bother you.
Oh no, it ain't that it bothers me, big dog. I'm just sick of it, man. I'm sick of this narrow-minded, stupid ass shit. That when you
But it takes time to change. That's what
These
I was
niggas ain't
telling
gonna
you
change.
about my faith in the church, right? It takes time to break those lifelong habits. And if you don't have Brian or Kevin on here teaching you, opening your eyes, you have to overcome all of that before you're able to listen. And it takes a much bigger person to look inside themselves like the three of us do. That takes courage.
I
Point
guarantee,
fingers at yourself.
I guarantee you, Phyllis is trying to muster up enough courage to say something about me and being angry. I will give y'all a text message. She sent. I will drop in a text message from Phyllis
Yeah.
today.
And I that's why I stopped to say what I had to say, because I was getting that vibe, and I didn't want that vibe to be there. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to feel like we have a problem or you're angry. You know what I'm saying? You're passionate, and that's what's great about the show. And if you can't see that, I understand your frustration because if they can't see that,
They can't.
They're missing the whole point.
Well, they're missing the whole point, Jack.
Yeah. I understand your frustration when it comes to that. Big God.
That's right.
That's how you know what you're doing is right.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with both of y'all. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I'm
And
just.
we know it's frustrating. And see, you and Kev know more stuff about the behind scenes. I don't. I just come on here and whatever y'all say, I'm like, okay. I don't know.
It's just like, oh my God. You can't. That's what I say. I don't even want to be seen as angry. Because I'm tired of it, man. That shit, you know what? That was a trigger. I'm telling you, that was a trigger. Like, what? I'm angry. It's called
That's what
passion,
makes you
stupid
angry,
ass.
right? That's what makes you angry.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Hey, dog, let me say something, man. Charlotte said something a few minutes ago, man. I want to emphasize that. Just like you knew that was a trigger, right? The devil knows that's a trigger also, and he doesn't want us to progress.
no, I'm not gonna quit, bro. Don't get me wrong. I said that's what makes me want to quit. I'm not. I'm not gonna. No. I'm just. It's just like, dude, talking to black people is like talking to a fucking wall sometimes, man. No, don't get me wrong, Kev. I ain't quitting, but it's just like,
Okay.
if I could, man.
That purpose.
Yeah, exactly,
You
man.
just tune them out.
No, I mean it's see what Charlotte, it goes back to why me and you are friends. How many years have you been how many years have you been hearing people say Brian is angry, and you go, no, it's not. Craig, you angry.
Like you ain't talking about the same Brian.
Exactly. But it's the people who don't stand for any fucking thing.
Right.
And it's like,
Well, it's because they don't got nothing else to do.
no, what I'm saying is, it's just like,
They don't know you.
no, but see, the thing is, I don't have to know anybody to listen to what the hell they say.
Right.
And it's like, oh my God. But you know what? These are the same stupid ass, these are the ancestors of the same stupid ass people that hated Malcolm X and Martin King. And it's just, you know what, Phyllis is right. It is trauma. Because like I told Kev yesterday, all the stress in my life comes from where, Kev? The people in my fucking family.
People in your life.
That's why my family is cut off.
Yeah.
Gabby and I are isolated.
Ain't that what I said, Kev, yesterday?
Yeah, that's what you said, man. That's what you said.
That's
That's the only way you can have sanity and peace.
yeah, because you know,
That's the way it is.
oh, yeah, it's just, oh, the shit just, and I know my sisters are talking shit about me because my older sisters usually text me, great show, but you talking shit right now, and I'm just like, hold it, but you know what? I know how to fix this shit though, and I'm not being funny or not. Going forward, oh, you think I'm angry? I'm gonna show you what angry looks like.
Oh, man.
Because I'm not going to get angry. Since you speak in your mind, I'm going to speak mine. It's just like people, like, it kills me that people who call themselves artists will call me in the middle of my show.
Right, in the middle of your show. Like you can just stop and have a conversation.
Right.
I'm just like, you know I'm on air, or you allegedly support me, but you call me when I'm on air. You can't say you don't know because you at your fucking sister's house, and that's where my fucking children are.
Yeah.
Stop.
I feel you, bro.
It's just, and then even if I was angry, these are the things that give me right to be angry.
Yeah. Don't let the devil win, man.
I'm just, it's the type of shit that I understand, dude, the more I do this, the more I realize why people say, fuck black people and get rich. Seriously.
Wow.
Well, that's why God blesses you with the vision that you have.
He better not bless me with no money because it's going to be hard to continue. I'm telling you.
That's coming too.
No, I'm just saying, it just, these
Preparing
people,
you
man.
For that too. I'm just saying. Are these people that make you aggravated now? Wait till you get some money.
No,
You
hey,
need to be
Charlotte,
ready.
just know.
Right, Kev?
Just know if I hit the lottery or some shit like that and get a big pile of money, that'll be the last day I'm angry.
All you need to do is call me and tell me I can retire from CPS,
There you
and
go.
I'll take care of all them people for you.
Yeah.
No. The thing is,
I'll
Charlotte,
take care of all of them for you.
Charlotte, if I had that type of money, they would definitely be cut off. Because what I would do is throw an annual cookout for both sides of my family.
And they wouldn't come.
and everybody will come and and then when they go home, that'll be the last time they see me until the next cookout.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because
Do that now. You ain't gotta have money for that.
just no, but that'll be the only time they would see me. Period. Like my aunt, she's trying now. Get this, Charlotte. I got an aunt named Emma. Emma tried to ruin my life July 4th. She didn't know me and Nicole had split up. And me and Tree didn't have no place to go for 4th of July. She's a very attractive young lady. I say, come on over to my family house with me. My Aunt Emma shows up, see me sitting there laughing and joking with Tree. She half-ass speaks, don't say nothing to me for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, one more time.
Nicole walks in. Walks right over there to Lorraine, my Aunt Lorraine, and my Aunt Emma sitting there. They all laughing and joking. You know what Emma does? And she didn't even know me and Nicole were split up. Brian over there sent my ex right to me thinking, oh, you here with your side girlfriend, so I'm going to tell your wife where you at. She didn't know that Nicole and Tree live next door to each other. I'm just like, we all grew up together. And she's having a birthday party.
Your aunt is supposed to be protecting you.
So she's having a birthday party Saturday. Her daughter called my Aunt Reese and my Aunt Lorraine and my Aunt Ernestine and invited them. And they asked, is this a surprise party? They said no. Because you know how Emma is. She don't want just anybody at a party. We had to run down the list and approve everybody. So Ernestine calls me yesterday. Are you going to the party? No, I ain't get no invitation. And then they send me an invitation. No, y'all just trying to make sure Ernestine and Lorraine get there. And they are going to get there. I'm not coming. And Ernestine is going to try to work on me tomorrow. Hey, you should do that. I'm not coming. Yeah. Hell no. I'm not coming. After she want to take, her fat ass want to take you home, then I can go back to the south side and relax. But yeah, that is why I'm angry. It's that type of background noise. And it's like, her son literally lied on me. Walked up to me and got into me and Nicole's business, and I was finna slap the shit out of him. My cousin Vincent, God rest his soul, stopped me. And then I didn't say anything to him until Vincent was murdered 3 years later, maybe 5 years later. And yeah, it was 5 years later because Vincent got murdered in 16. That happened in 11. And then he disrespected the hell out of me again. And instead of reacting, I just said, hey, man, I'll see y'all later. And he's trying to kiss ass and trying to take my temperature then. Like, no, I ain't angry. I don't like you and you don't like me. We walked into this building not liking each other. We don't hang out. And then he gonna put it in front of my aunts. And his punk ass mama, another aunt, oh, tell Brian I'm ready to forgive him. I was like, did God take the day off? He put you in charge of forgiving?
What?
Is God on vacation or some shit?
And you didn't even do anything.
Right. And then he made the mistake of leaving me a voice message. So when they was talking shit to me, my phone is always connected to my car. I said, yeah, and played the voicemail. I went through my deleted voicemail because, on iPhone, those deletes never disappear unless you delete them.
Unless you delete them, yeah.
I went to it and I said, is that what you're talking about? And he said that they didn't know what they was talking. He didn't know what they was talking about because he never said that. Wow. That's what annoys me. Yeah. It's like, and this is something Charlotte don't know about. This is why Chief Rock and Mocha will always be somewhere on my shit list. Because if 2Q has heard these rumors that her and Rocker put out, what do I look like now, Kev?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying.
We're doing this right.
No, don't worry. I mean, I'm just saying this is. But see, Charlotte,
Save everybody.
my thing is this, Charlotte. My name has been dragged through the mud, and with my family, with people who are in the circle I'm in, and it's like, so any mistake I make, huh? No, hey, ask Kev. I don't even deal with those people anymore. But it's just still fucked up that the finger's being pointed at me on a lie.
I get that. But you above that.
I'm not. I'm tired. See, that's the thing, Charlotte. I'm tired of overlooking that. That's the thing. Kev can tell you, I've overlooked, 4 years of bullshit, Kev?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you know what, Charlotte? I could even tolerate, I would even rise above a lie. Like, let's just say me and Kev was actually in an argument and he was angry. And if Kev got angry and went and lied on me, I could look above that because that's a lie that was told out of emotion. He felt a certain way and he went in, what's the word? When you add on, embellished.
Yeah.
He went and embellished with the story. Kev is my witness. These are raw dog, buck naked, nobody benefited lies. These are lies. You know I'm Charlotte Daddy. What?
Right. Just with no facts or reasons behind it.
No facts, no reason, and no benefit. So when everybody found out I'm not your fault, well, y'all both 51. And then the lie just permeates. Just like, what the fuck? Why did you tell that lie?
Right.
But meanwhile, my rep is shot. That's what and it's not that I want my rep to be solid with these people. It's just like,
That's still your good name.
yeah. And that's why it's like, I'm tired of overlooking. But I tell you one thing, like I just said, when Phyllis gonna get her feelings hurt, she say something I don't like. I'm telling you. Phyllis not gonna be in the show. If she get up enough courage to say something, I'm gonna say some shit, and you won't see Phyllis for a while. Cause it's like, man, when she said that shit about my trauma, what? You talking to a dude who got a college degree, dropped out of school. When he went back to college, as God is my witness, I had like 12 classes to do. Didn't open up a book. I did not. I got a book right over here.
That memory, Kev.
I know,
No,
for real.
no. I'm gonna show y'all this. This has nothing to do with memory. This is what my degree is in: juvenile justice. Watch this. Did you hear that book open?
Yes, crispy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Crispy.
Could be sold as a new book.
Never used.
Never. That might have been the first time that book was opened.
Right.
So what's the trauma?
Right.
I used to cut high school. I used to cut so much of high school. Charlotte thought we were classmates.
Westinghouse. What you talking about?
Exactly. You went to West now. What?
Lincoln Park.
Where Brian did the
Lincoln
graduation?
Park.
Right here.
I think I might have made a couple Lincoln Park yearbooks.
I'm sure I got all 4 of them. I'm about to go through them.
Go through them. I bet you I'm in a Lincoln Park yearbook.
Right.
But I got trauma.
Yeah.
Look, I cut enough high school to graduate in 4 years and attend 2 different high schools full time. Kev, if you went to like
That's
a like
TV show in the works.
right,
Yeah, it is.
where's the trauma?
Right.
But I'm filled with trauma. I know she gonna say it. Like you got to stop getting angry. So passion don't exist in y'all world, huh?
Right.
That's why I say, it pissed me off because I'm like, hold it. Two people can't have a heated debate?
Right.
So what's your catchphrase? Sucks to be you.
Sucks to be you. Yeah. Hey, I might post that on Facebook. I'm about to make a lot of enemies.
Yeah. We should have that scroll across the screen next
Right.
Sucks to be you. Hey, you know what?
Ooh, we should get t-shirts.
Yeah, t-shirt.
Hey, guess what? I'm finna do it.
Yay.
Yeah, boy. Hey, the forecast got theirs. We need to get ours.
That's right.
I'm telling you.
Sucks to be you.
Oh,
You
man.
also like to say what? Sucker free?
Yep.
Look, I got them all. We just gonna throw them right back at you. So
Yep.
you can we can proclaim it to the world. Don't come here with that negativity.
Exactly. If you don't get it, just...
You need one more it. You need two its.
No. Sucks to be you. Just, if you don't get it, sucks to be you.
Oh, okay.
Or I can even do it this way.
Yeah.
Scroll.
Oh, playing with his toy now, Kev.
I know. He's
Look.
getting sleepy.
Nah, I ain't sleepy. I told you.
I'm talking about him.
Nap.
Talking about little man.
This the latest. I've been up all week too. I didn't have a nap.
I had my big boy nap right before the show.
Well, I'm getting my energy from the two of you. Oh,
Look at that.
If you don't get it, sucks to be you.
If you don't...
Yes. So you keep scrolling. I love it. It's beautiful.
There you go.
Oh, hold on. I got to change that too. What is it?
Boy, yeah, work.
You can tell by that little smile on his face.
I know, yeah.
I know I don't got a poker face. And he don't got a poker face either. He on screen.
Man.
Glad to see that smile.
Yeah.
Just,
There's those dimples.
there it is.
Yes. I love it.
But,
There you go.
well, yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I was pissed about. Like, here we go. Even if I was angry, I can't be angry.
Yeah. No, but see, I didn't get the anger. But see, you and I debate enough. I didn't get angry. I just got passionate. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you believe what you believe and you want to express it. What's wrong with that? That's what we should be doing.
Yeah.
You know?
But you had to. We in a room full of 40+ people, and you have to stop and explain that.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah. That's wild.
And Phyllis is 50+.
Yeah.
Phyllis is about to be 56 years old, 57 years old.
But notice they didn't turn it off.
Yeah, because they wanted me to freak out. I would be insanely shocked if my cousin Eric doesn't call me.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. So the word gonna get around, huh?
You know, Brian kind of snapped on old boy.
Right.
And I'm just gonna say, all right, man, I'm about to go. So if he called, hey man, I heard this. Well, I guess that's what happened then, huh?
Yeah. That's great.
I think I am gonna post that on Facebook. I'm gonna create me some enemies.
You're so silly.
I'm joking. I'm telling you because it's true.
Well, I need to go do a video, man. I gotta what is he to me? He's really a brother, but you know the guy I told you, the gun guy that actually got me in the guns.
Yep.
His birthday is tomorrow. And we're about to do a video card for him. I guess that's what you call it. What do you call those things?
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna do just a video thing for him because he's in Houston. So
I should hit post.
What you-
Hit it. What can they do?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I did. It's time to create some enemies. Hashtag sucker free.
Sucker free.
Yeah, I like it. I'ma like it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like it. First time I like one of my posts.
That's the way to be. Look, that's your slogan. Sucker free. That's the way to be. There you
Indeed.
go.
Hey, you see, you corrupted my grandson. He's in my ear talking about, sucks to be you.
That's what I'm talking about. Exactly.
Time to pull up aside and have that conversation.
Now I gotta go to I got work to do. Hey, sucks to be me.
Sucks. STBY. Sucks
With
to
the
be.
right one. He's with the
Oh,
right
man.
one. All right, Kings.
All right. You got it.
Have a good night.
Good night, good peoples.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye, guys.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 8478583.
I hate people.
Yo.
I hate people.
That's what happened.
Oh, damn. I've been on air this whole time.
Saying hey people?
Mm-hmm.